welcome back to Contemporary Black Voices. And again, my name is Sharon Michael Chadwell, and with me today are Caleb Alexander and Chris Dawkins. So we ended up the last segment telling you that we were going to talk about the Manosphere and then what more that we can do to help ourselves in the Black community. So Caleb, you've been jumping for joy on this one. So
No,
talk about the
you know what?
Manosphere.
Because it's interesting because um,
Explain to folks what that is.
the Manosphere.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's more of an idea. I want to say of just this environment of really, it's an environment of the whole social network of what I believe to be toxic masculinity. You know what I mean? And so you have like the Kevin Samuels, and then I forgot the idiot that got indicted for rape, whatever it is. He used to be the kickboxer or whatever.
And Rogan.
And Rogan and all those guys like that.
Alex Jones.
Right. And so it's this whole environment where these guys come together and they have these gripes and grievances and all this kind of stuff. So, I mean, Trump tapped into that. You know what I mean? And so, and that was critical. 70%, over 70% of white men. And so, which was something else I believe, when they saw Harris, they looked at an accomplished woman.
An accomplished woman of color.
That too. But I think it was the same rebellion against Hillary because you saw a powerful woman. And so the Manosphere is absolutely against that. And so a lot of people in the Manosphere, we're gonna be honest with you, a lot of these guys are just they're sexually repressed. A lot of them they're incels.
Well, you know, one of the comments that Trump made, he was telling the men, we're finally putting the women back.
Exactly, and that's my point.
He made that comment?
He's talking about with the whole idea.
You'll be able to find you a woman now.
Yeah, you'll be able to find a woman now because we're gonna put these women back in their place.
And speaking about that, I want to send out an SOS to folks, especially women who may be listening and fathers, and you know, and men in general. There is this movement going around where white men are hanging out their trucks and yelling and whispering, your body, my choice.
Yeah, and they're texting girls that. Boys in high school and boys in middle school, little boys in elementary school are telling little girls in elementary school, your body, my choice.
And so the counter that some women are saying is your crouch, my taser. So there is a dangerous movement afoot out there.
Yeah. See, and this is the deal. But the Democrats missed it. They didn't pick up on it. We thought it was weird. All these people who were we called them incels, and they were sexually repressed, and we laughed at them, and we thought it was just weird. And we didn't understand the real repercussions of that, and Trump tapped into that. You know what I mean? And so we sat there and we laughed at this man when he talked about Arnold Palmer Johnson for 15 minutes. But
For what purpose?
But here's the deal. What that was, we missed it. Normal folks missed that. But the people who was meant for understood what that meant.
What it meant?
The size of his junk was about male dominance over women.
Okay.
That's what that was about.
Okay.
And a lot of people picked up on that. These are tactics.
Do you think Trump was putting on an act?
Let me tell you something. Yeah, no, but I'm gonna tell you something though. These are tactics that were used by the Nazis. It injected a lot of sexual innuendo. Hitler did that. And so this idea of a man's huge equipment being able to sexually dominate a woman. And so it appealed to those people, man. And so we sit here, we're like, something's got to be seriously wrong with them, but it appealed to them.
So it kind of goes back to my question. We saw some weird things happening in the Trump rallies, right?
Yeah.
Now it makes me want to think, was it all an act?
I think that we missed the message more than anything because it wasn't a message for us. It wasn't a message for normal
those
folks.
were dog whistles.
It was a lot of dog whistles. When all these guys they had been saying this all along.
Especially the microphone thing when he started doing the oral sex.
All that kind of stuff, yeah. When you look back at it, and understood what was going on and understand when you sit there and you dissect it all, now you understand it. It makes complete sense how he was able to tap into that. Him going on all the little the little man shows and that he tapped into that. He said he tapped into that anger against women, the sexual frustration, because these guys looked around and they saw, we can't get a woman, and the women they're everywhere. They're in power. They're CEOs now, and you know what I mean. And so it was a rebellion against that. So, as much as anything else, it was men wanting to reassert their dominance over women in this country, and he tapped into that.
So this election was about gender and race.
It was about gender and race more than anything else. It was about gender and race.
Let me ask you this question. So then what happens going forward to those interracial marriages, and especially those athletes and the other people that are, I mean, that's
Nothing happens, but it was a rebellion against that as well.
Right. So
Yeah.
I wonder what the fallout's gonna be. I mean, I don't know, but I'm just asking for your
People
opinion.
gonna still marry who they want to marry, but I mean, it was a complete and utter rebellion. So and I know we're gonna run out, and I really do want to talk about this because I know we talked about it in our meeting, right? And we talked about whiteness, okay? And so this election was about that more than anything else.
I agree.
It was about whiteness.
I agree.
And protecting it.
It was about white identity.
I agree.
And we sat there, and the whole time we laughed at these people, and we were saying, "What are you talking about?" And when they were talking about white replacement theory, we were like, "What are you people talking about?" And we were laughing at them. We thought they were crazy. And then, but what these people were seeing was they were seeing the TV commercials and the interracial relationships, and they were seeing there's a Black History Month and a Latino History Month and a Native American History Month, and so they saw all of this, and they were like, "Well, where am I at? Where's our month? Where am I at?" And they looked at the Democratic Party, which is a party of interest groups. They said, "Well, where do I fit in?" You know what I'm saying?
So the
I'm not
anti
gay.
the anti-DEI, the anti-CRT, the anti-this, the anti-that.
All of that was backlash. That was leading up to this election. We didn't miss. We missed the sign. All of this stuff about there was rebellion against teaching Black history, this rebellion against diversity, this rebellion against inclusion. We just missed the signs. And they've been building up, and they've been telling us over and over and over again.
Let me say this. I think that's a great segue into what I wanted to say as we, have a little bit of time left.
Okay.
Let me preface it by saying this, minus religion, okay? Black people must understand that the Nation of Islam is the only group that I know of that has a program for Black people. As we talk about education might be eliminated, they've got an educational component. As we talk about those men who are incarcerated or whatever, they've got a program for that. They've got a program for respecting the Black woman. So my thought is that I'm hoping that we understand and embrace, and hopefully NOI will also think about having some type of where we can learn what they have learned minus the religion.
We need to have a huge table
because
we include everybody.
Because if you include Islam into it, or they think the general public of Black folks think Islam is going to be a part of it, then they would not want to be a part of it.
Right.
But if you take that out, and I think even have a separate arm, okay, that doesn't deal with that, but we're learning the same stuff that the NOI learns. I think that's very important, and that's how I think we go forward.
So we need to, in conclusion, we need to start thinking seriously about doing a virtual Black Wall Street.
Well, I really think a conversation about race and economics.
Well, race and economics.
Yeah.
Also, I did see a young lady, a young sister said we need to start working on our own Black Project 2025 agenda.
Right. Or, I mean, even this, why not work on something? There are enough people, we graduate 100,000 engineers or whatever it is. Why not pool money together and work on a Black car company? The easiest vehicles to build now are electric vehicles. Why not have a Black EV company and it goes public and we all invest in it, whatever. You know what I mean? So I mean, it's just why Nike? Why not have a black shoe company? Why can't these athletes get together instead of wearing Nike? They pool their money and we have a black titty shoe company.
I think what you're saying is very important. And I think that that's where we bridge the gap between what we want to do, some of the knowledge that we have,
Yeah.
and our the way that we can be creative with the Africans.
Right. And so what you were talking about, I mean, the nation of it, a nation within a nation.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have to, you know what I mean? Again, absent the religious component, we can be an economic nation within a nation. That's what the Jews are.
So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and end this segment. And we hope that you put in comments and your thoughts as to what we can do to positively affect change in the Black community. And with that being said, this is Contemporary Black Voices. We're telling our stories our way.
Black power.